You're awesome, Jack.
Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Turn your filter on. Should have gone on about 20 minutes ago.
Roll call, please.
Dewey,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Sowers.
Here.
Allenbach,
Yep.
Kasowski.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Jimmy's present also, and,
I move we approve the agenda as printed.
Jack.
Oh,
Second.
I didn't even ask. Motion on the table with a second that says we should approve the agenda for this evening. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Public hearings. We have a 2019 comp plan update public hearing scheduled for this evening. Lots of questions. Concerns? Anyway, at this time, I'll open the public hearing on comp plans for comp plan updates for 2019. I just saw that picture. With a right-hand drive car, is that a right-hand drive car or was the negative turned around backwards?
What are you looking at, boss?
Picture on the front page.
Oh, page. Front page.
Pictures. Should be a few more.
That's a good question.
So as I understand it, the map's got to be updated.
Yeah, so there's still, so that's the draft, so the planning commission still will have their deal on the 13th, next Thursday. So they've got some changes they still wanna make, and then you guys will have one more public hearing. So then we'll incorporate all the changes for the final adoption on the 25th. So yeah, I meet with the gal on the maps Thursday. Planning commission had a bunch of changes they wanna make to the maps, so not big changes, just little verbiage type things, reference changes.
Good. Anything unusual in there? Just
No, we didn't really change anything, we just rearranged it, re-updated those maps. I'm gonna try to get her to update a couple of the other maps, and then, just moved everything around. But we didn't update anything unless it had to be updated to meet GMA.
okay. Great. Thank you.
Impressive.
How many pages did you say, Jack?
84.
84.
That's a lot of reading.
Okay. Public hearing is going on. Anything from the public isn't forthcoming, so I see no objections so far. We'll close the public hearing. And move on to important correspondence. There's a letter, there's two letters, three letters there. Al Mendick requesting water bill relief. Letter from Hope Source and a letter from Chitas County Solid Waste. Wanting input from me about solid waste. I don't know what that's gonna be. Anyway, Mr. Nundick said all these water leaks were repaired since May the 12th. Asks that we might revise the water bill we received in May. Thank you very much.
How much was the water bill?
Oh. $400.
How much?
I think it was like $400.
Was that the May one or June?
That was for May.
For this, through the whole winter?
It was for the month of, yeah, through the winter, so it was May's bill when they got it in May. And then she dropped it off last Thursday.
So,
Everything was fixed in a timely manner and
what's your pleasure?
everything fixed in a timely manner and all that.
Well, she got the bill.
I
the
didn't,
first
I didn't go
of
and
May.
they didn't call me to come have a look
Oh,
or
okay.
repair or anything.
Okay.
They got it the 1st of May and then,
So we don't have any clue where the leak was at,
Just what she said,
which was,
which was
Oh,
a foundation between the house and the shop or something.
yeah,
Okay.
there's, yeah.
so between the meter and the house, then, sounds like.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was beyond the house. I think it was between the house and then to the shop.
See, our provisions actually call for between the meter and the house, don't they?
Well, and under the house. We said, because sometimes you don't know.
You're saying that,
It's still
I
buried in
think-
the foundation of the shop,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there were a couple of them, different leaks,
Basically, as long as they weren't in the house, we're okay.
yeah.
okay, I'll entertain a motion, if you're so inclined.
Well, I'll make a motion that we adjust the water bill for the Nedics to the base rate for that period.
Second.
Moved and seconded, a water bill adjustment be made. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
$400.
We have a letter here from Home Source. That they're thrilled to announce that the WASDOT grant for Ellensburg, Cle Elum commuter was successful. See in the paper, that's starting to run 2 or
I've seen
3
it on-
times a day.
I've seen it over there at the post office a
Yeah.
couple times.
On behalf of Hope Source, we want to extend our gratitude for your generous contribution. That took, I'm going to say that took a year. We gave some.
Didn't give them anything?
Anybody on the bus?
Yeah. All the green people are in the back of the bus. But anyway, that's running. It stops here, stops in Cle Elum, Roslyn, and I think it goes to Suncadia.
Was
And
it
back to
running now?
Ellensburg, a couple of times a day.
Is it running now?
Yeah.
Oh,
This minute? I don't know, Jim.
well, I don't know, but I mean, I.
No, it goes from like 7 in the morning to something.
I didn't know it started. Maybe I'd get a ride to work.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
Anyway, that's is okay.
Save another $1, huh, Jack? Yeah.
The letter here from solid waste that I'll take care of. Any other correspondence? Failing that, we'll move on to people. Don't see any people. Moving on to the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll move the minutes of the previous meeting be accepted as written.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded that the minutes from the previous meeting be accepted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thanks. Report, Scott.
Chuck Reed got a hold of me and the county's gonna chip seal their portion of South Cle Elum Way between the bridge and the north intersection of Grant and then out in the southeast town limits out of town next year. So we wanted to know if we would be able to do South Cle Elum Way at that time since he'll be right at each end of it. So Dora said that we could, so we will.
Good.
And tomorrow, we're getting more underlayment for the park play equipment, the wood fiber. It's gonna be delivered tomorrow morning and I'll start spreading it under the equipment. And I turned water off to 3 residences for non-payment. Water was paid, $100 fee was paid and they're back on. And the wells are pumping continuously and have pumped 21 acre feet. The static level in the wells is lower than it's ever been.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
How do you know where the level of the water is? I mean, how can, you got a ruler you drop down or something?
No, there's a little probe that you put down there, and once it touches the water, it beeps at you.
Basically.
It's got the measurements on the wire, and as soon as it touches the water, it sounds an alarm. Now the tape measure days are done. Tie a bolt to a string or something.
Okay, won't be around till Friday if you want some help spreading that stuff.
Thank you. Backhoe do most of it.
I like that.
Prefer that mechanical advantage myself.
Okay.
there's monthly reports there for May for your review. And then, we had adjusted a water leak for, Patty at his place. Well, he sent me an updated notice, cause he didn't have where he had done it at. It was in his shower, in the wall.
Oops.
Yeah, so I told him, he called, and so I told him I would have to find out. We may have to just add the $9 back on again.
If it's $9, it's out of our range, he needs to just pay it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, we just need to add it back, because it doesn't,
$9.
yeah, I think it was like $9.54 or something like that. So, yeah, it was in his shower behind the wall.
Yeah, that isn't covered.
The only thing I heard was $9.
It's good enough, right?
It was okay, they said okay,
Okay.
it's good. And
His
We're talking
We're-
about,
his
For a
water
water
leak
leak.
was in his shower and not under the ground.
Yeah.
oh,
the last
and he
time,
came and told you so?
he's an honest guy.
Yeah.
Thank him for being honest.
Tell me.
I know.
Yeah.
Magic.
Show me the money.
Yeah, it's only $9.
So yeah, do that however you wanna do it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fire Chief.
Mayor and Council, for the month of May, we had 4 calls. One was a fire over in Cle Elum, went over and helped them. 2 8 calls and 1 burnt food on the stove. We'll be doing pump testing this month, about the 18th or 20th, one between either 18th, 19th or 20th. He notified me they would be setting up, so we'll be getting in there. Wildland season's here, in case you haven't heard. There's a, last I checked, it's 5,000 acres over in Grant County. If you've been down to Ellensburg, if you look up, you can actually see the plumes of smoke. It did go to a state mob, so you'll see resources coming in from across the state. We just had that discussion last night at our meeting that, we need to make sure we're careful. We're not going on state mobs. We're taking care of the town of South Cle Elum, and everybody's good with that. But I also informed them that if something gets out of the, going, don't hesitate to call for help. I don't want to, wait until the last minute. It would start getting people, the only thing I don't want to call for is a tanker or a helicopter.
Air support.
Yeah,
No helicopters.
no helicopters.
How about that 747?
I don't want that one either. So I said, well, if we get to that point, we'll get the people in that has a big pocketbook. They can call for it, but we're not going to be calling for it. So, because if we were to call for it, we're responsible for the
Thank
bill.
you very much.
And we don't want that bill. I know how much they cost, so. And that's all I have.
Any talk of the fire season starting early, their bands?
We're not at the moment. So it's still, our age is still within acceptable ranges. Now that's kind of a weekly adjust. We get a report from the Forest Service DNR that goes to the county, and I've always kind of went with the county, and then I talked to the fire chief over in Cle Elum, so we all kind of hit at the same time, so it takes a lot of confusion out. So somebody goes, well, they can't have over there, but you can hear it, so we try to put them all on at the same time, just blanket it. There is going to be a little bit different with the county, with the new fire marshal they have down there. He's actually doing some different things to make that call. As soon as that call's made, I will definitely let the town know and notify the mayor if we need to do it real quick. But other than that, I'll bring it to the council.
Thanks, Lee. Police report's in front of us. A few more hours this month. 18 to be exact. We have some criminal activity.
Mr. Mayor, I have a message from the interim police chief. He said he would be here, but he's in class, so he wanted you to be assured that he's not skipping out. So,
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot of activity apparently.
Well, I see there's a couple of suicidal subjects there. Jack's number's up there at 4.
No, that's
Suspicious.
suspicious circumstances.
Oh, animals.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, maybe live.
Okay. Any questions? We can get a hold of the police and find out.
No idea where those extra hours went.
Anything?
Nothing to report?
Planning Commission? Don't see anything. Nothing's getting built. They've been working hard on that comp plan. Council sounds like it.
Looks like it too.
I have nothing for the good of the order. Anybody else? Nope.
Wait a minute now. What's the status on our little housing project there across the street?
Lower on the page, Jack.
Where?
Short-term
Use the
rental.
letters?
And these,
No, it's
yeah,
not available.
oh, the different one.
Oh.
Business letters, Jack.
A letter's been sent
Yeah.
outlining the time frame that that has to move or be facing penalties, civil penalties.
Well, Michelle might want to expound on that, maybe.
Expound on it?
He came
The
in today.
setback, Dick?
Yeah, so he believes that because the trailer is licensed, that it doesn't, setback rules don't apply. So we have explained that that's not the case. Told him that he's welcome to go down and get the whole thing licensed as a trailer with that on it. And then I don't know if there's anything we could do, we can park that trailer there, but right now, he can't just have it on a trailer and be within that setback, so. He was gonna go down to state patrol, I think, and try to get the whole thing licensed
As an RV.
as an RV, is what it
Time
is,
he
yeah.
spends
It's a
doing
recreation.
that.
Tiny house. Kinda hard to tell it when the
Well,
tongue
yeah,
is facing the fence.
It's built on a boat trailer.
Yeah,
Is it a boat trailer or a
Yeah.
snowmobile
Oh,
trailer?
it's a boat
Is
trailer.
it?
Yeah.
yeah,
so,
hanging over on.
Pontoon house.
Well,
So you'll just need to bring
Put it in the back,
documentation
the
from
tongue's in,
the
I don't know how he's
state
gonna get
patrol
it
that
out.
says it's legal as a
well, that would be
RV.
a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the little house on it.
Yeah,
yeah, they like.
licensed and inspected and,
Then it'll fall under parking ordinance where it has to be moved within 72
Yeah,
hours.
that's a different ordinance, but yeah.
He's got
Has there been any more consideration of the parking ordinance?
It's passed. We just aren't enforcing it yet for some reason.
All those suggestions that you brought forth?
It's passed.
Okay. So when the snow falls, it's 5 feet from the edge, well, it's 5 feet from the edge of the painted anyway. At that point, we can generally get something done, so it's, anything that's not less than 5 feet, or not more than 5 feet away, can be on the hook.
maybe we can get something done this next year. When we need to. Okay, thank you. Interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, when that was announced in the paper, it was buried along with other stuff, and I was looking for it and couldn't hardly even find it in the paper. So I don't know if we need to put it in the paper again or what.
What about Channel 40?
They usually seem to get one warning from the police, so I think after one warning, if they don't do it, then they can go on the hook. They can get their car back from Willits,
Yep.
in my book.
How long is that parking ordinance? It's not
Oh, no.
42 pages, is it?
No, it was put in the paper that it was adopted and they can get a copy of it if they want.
Is that something the paper can print?
Oh, they can print it.
The
It's gonna
parking
cost you.
ordinance? Yeah.
Yeah,
How much?
Oh, yeah? Well, a quick overview in the meeting minutes?
that's what I sent them
Yeah.
when they
Maybe
put
we-
it in there.
Maybe
It's,
we can get it more visible this time.
it'll go in the legal section. Although, unless you call Jim,
That's it?
I'll, what?
there you go.
Okay.
Jim Fawcett.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Any other reports?
Your turn, Derek.
It's your turn.
Claims against the town.
Now it is. I'll move the claims against the town be allowed, the checks drawn on the town treasurer for the same.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded that claims be allowed, checks drawn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
I'm so excited I got flustered.
Almost.
Unfinished business. Nuisance letters to violators. We've had one
We
going
have-
out.
Yeah, we got, Michelle has the,
We have several. So the goal is to update, you guys are still under the uniform building code somehow?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know, Dora's got the ordinance and she's got the hearing scheduled, so ideally, we want to send them out as soon as that's adopted, because that's what we're enforcing under.
As soon as we get into the international building code, those go out.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're ready to go, but that's what we're enforcing under and that's what's referenced in those letters, so it'd be good if that was what was actually.
yeah.
Okay. I tried to
You want it again?
read the
Yeah, I
differences between those two.
It's like pick and flush.
I failed.
Well, the other thing too is we added to the adoption the International Property Maintenance Code, which gives you a little bit more as far as some of the nuisance stuff. You guys have it under your nuisance code, but you'll have a building code now that has property maintenance that gives you a little more teeth as well.
That might come in handy in conjunction with the short-term rental thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Short-term rentals. Are we ready?
I don't think so. I haven't, I've underlined what I think is, I don't know if it's important, but the parking, I think we're gonna have to decide how we wanna enforce the parking. If we're gonna make them have 2 off-street parking spots, if we should,
Are they gonna be accessed from the street, from the alley?
that's it.
You want my shopping list? Are these gonna fall under the hotel motel taxes?
I think we asked that last time, but I don't know if.
That was just one of the things that, in conditional use permits, are we gonna require those on them?
That's up to you guys.
Because that isn't,
That was-
that isn't outlined in there.
Isn't it? I thought it was. Okay,
Discussion.
all right, we talked about it then.
Snow removal. You know as well as I do, if that person doesn't own a bolt in that house, they're not gonna move their car in the winter. We're gonna make the owners liable to get that snow
You would have to,
cleaned out in front of it?
that's just like the nuisance ordinance,
They're all are those citizens that we have now that don't move their cars in the wintertime.
Yeah, but they're the ones that reap the benefit of it.
Yep. Yep, that's true.
Your park in there, I had that one marked. Who's gonna do the inspections? Is that,
Michelle,
so we have a fee for the initial permit, and then the renewal was $50, and it didn't say anything about an inspection cost.
$75
Where was
is what
that?
Roslyn charges per inspection,
each
correct?
inspection?
So Roslyn charge, yeah, with a minimum of 2 hours, so it's
I was gonna say,
100.
that wasn't in here.
It's actually 55, I think, with a minimum of 2 hours, so 110 for the inspection.
Because it was
They have a specific fee for short-term rental.
yeah, I think it was $250 for the permit,
And then
But
the
that was
renewal was
going up.
50.
Yeah, that's going
and
up,
then 75 for inspection and $50 for the business license.
correct.
Okay, that isn't outlined in here.
I got it outlined on the back of my thing.
Okay. So if we get complaints, are we gonna be able to cancel the permit?
Yeah, conditional use.
I think that was in there. Where did I read that?
Subject to non-renewal.
Yeah.
Non-renewal of their
Yeah,
conditional
yeah,
use.
yep.
If there's complaints.
Non-renewal, but that would be the beginning of the next year.
Yeah,
So we're gonna make their neighbors suffer for the rest of the year?
And those are things that you can actually
Well,
add in there. You
Right
can
in
put
there, yeah.
If it's
whatever
not
you would
there,
like
you
to
could add
add in
something.
there. So if you wanted that to specify that, you know, if there's any complaints, that they would be done.
Valid complaints.
They would be,
I mean, I don't see why well, I don't know if we're really gonna have
yeah.
a big call for this in South Cle Elum.
Yeah, but we don't wanna go into it half-cocked either.
No, we don't. We wanna make sure that if someone does it, that they're gonna be held accountable for anything.
if they wind up on the 11 o'clock news, they're done.
That's what occurred to me.
All valid points, which points all that stuff at more enforcement costs, is what that translates to. We want to look at it that way. You know, the more regulation you have, the more enforcement costs that you incur. So,
Good.
we can put all that stuff in there and hope for the best and enforce it when we have to.
If something has to be enforced, can we pass that cost on to the homeowner,
Should be
or
able
the
to.
property owner?
As far as, well, I'm talking about like police complaints,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the parties.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
The only way you can get back at that is
Fines.
cancel their, can you fine them?
You can,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. If you have it in there that,
That kind of language would have to be in that
Mhm.
ordinance that outlines any infractions of,
Nuisance.
you have any idea who's running the asylum here and what we used to do? We know what's gonna happen. Okay.
So, all the suggestions that Lynn has, or any other council member has, we would like to have copies of your suggestions, so that we can bundle it together. We're probably gonna have to have our legal counsel go through and put all that in there, how's that work? Yeah, so that's the process we're trying to get
Lead us
started.
down that road, sure.
Yeah,
Because
and
I didn't hear a non-valid concern.
how involved is this gonna be? Is it gonna be worth it to us to even do this, or
we have,
Well, other than,
can't we just say no short-term rental?
let's, yeah, if you wanted to. I mean, that's up to you. But I think proactive is better
If-
than reactive.
No, if we do it, you're right, we have to.
so actually, other than potential legal costs to draw the document up, we're not gonna have any money in it until somebody wants to do it, and then I'll pay for it. Maybe.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so you have more to work with.
Not gonna be 85 pages.
only 42 if you do both sides.
Yeah.
What about the pictures?
Pardon?
What about the pictures?
Well, there's pictures on both sides, but yeah.
All right, any more discussion on the short-term rental thing? Yeah,
One
thanks.
question, conditional use permit, is that the same as the $250 permit up in Roslyn, or is that, they don't have a conditional use permit up there?
In Roslyn, no, you don't have to get a conditional use permit, just a short-term rental permit.
Okay,
So whatever your guys' fee is for a conditional use permit, if you were gonna do it that way, would be, what would they would get charged?
We charge any other business in town, this is a business.
yeah.
You know,
No, I
any
understand
other
that.
home business
Yeah.
requires a fee, there's,
Well, it
Conditional
would be
use-
$100 for a conditional use permit fee. But it's just a one-time fee, so they're not paying a fee each year.
But it also gives neighbors a chance to vent concerns too every year,
Yeah,
besides lodging formal complaints.
Right.
Maybe we'd have to,
so,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so are you going to have a fee for a short-term rental? Or are you just gonna do a conditional use?
No, I think we need to have a fee,
So do I.
It should be both.
separate.
Separate fee?
So
for rent?
apparently Roslyn has okayed short-term rentals across their zoning
Yeah, so they're,
spectrum.
it's an allowed use in the commercial and the commercial overlay.
Everywhere.
They don't allow it in the residential and then they
Don't
just.
allow it in the residential.
That would all
They
be
got around
that.
it,
You're
but-
right.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So yeah, if it's in our commercial district there, it probably
You wanna get in,
wouldn't have
John?
it.
Huh?
You wanna get in the commercial district
No,
so you
no,
can
I'm
have
happy on
short-term
the other
rental?
side of the alley, thank you. I can't rent it anyway.
No,
Big dollars, you're losing out.
I think
I
that we
can't.
should have a
City won't let
conditional
me.
use permit plus a separate permit
Annual fee.
and money for inspection,
Yep.
however often
Yeah,
that
'cause-
happens,
That'd be annually.
at
Wasn't it?
least. Well,
At
there's
least annually or
something-
biannually.
Something in one of these things I read was twice, I think.
I'm not sure on that one. Do they just do a single yearly inspection in Roslyn?
Just one annual inspection every year for the permit renewal on the short-term rental.
Would be enough, yeah. All right, so work on incorporating that in there.
And then like any other inspection there, if they've got deficiencies, they've got to fix it and then you come back and verify.
Yeah, on those you're just doing fire life safety inspections, so like smoke detectors, railings,
Health and safety stuff.
yep.
They didn't,
Whether it's air and
nothing
water.
stuck out in that thing as, I didn't want it to be there. It's all pretty good. All right. Anything else on short-term rentals? Any other unfinished business? New business? What does our equipment reserve fund look like per street? Oh,
What, 30, 40,000?
so I'm thinking that maybe a newer, wouldn't say a new one, an updated version of our antique weed tractor might be in order.
It's gotta look pretty good on that.
I like that tractor. And
Buy
that's
it.
class.
You should buy that tractor.
What tractor?
How much you want?
Weed, the one they use on the.
1939, it can't go wrong.
Mowing right of ways.
Hey, nothing wrong with 1939, fella.
Huh?
You're about 10 years old, weren't you?
No, that was a good year, that's when I was
It's,
born.
we could use something a little more modern.
No, that thing's just cool.
It is, but
Is that an N? What is it?
9,
yeah,
1939.
they stole some foot pegs off an Indian motorcycle and hung it on the side.
I don't know, I'm thinking their antique tractor guys would have some interest in it.
Well, those things are all over. I just saw a 56 600, nice looking one too, for $2,800. It's got running boards, power steering, live PTO. Yeah.
See, from a safety aspect, if you're gonna bring somebody in on this isn't the thing to break into, right?
Yeah, the brush hog isn't really the safest thing in the whole world anyway, but had that tractor on there. Anyway,
It's undesirable to mow when there's any traffic for pedestrians.
You don't know where the stuff's going?
well, you know where it's gonna go.
Hit you in the back of the legs.
Yeah.
Now if you're on a tractor.
Oh, yeah? Is that right? Proud to be informed of that, Jack, so remember that.
I used to mow with an old John Deere C model tricycle tractor with an orchard mower back there, no 3-point hitch. And when you hit the ground, I had to mow with a piece of cardboard stuck down the back of my shirt, or it'd take your head off. Thing was painful at times.
Any consolation, Scott, you looked really good driving it.
Yeah, I try hard.
All you need is one of them Elmer Fudd hats and you'll be right in.
Darth Vader helmet.
All right, no new business.
Playing the Green Acres.
I was thinking that when he drove by.
Kind of look around maybe and see.
This will get us through this year.
Yeah, it will.
We can,
If that one breaks, I got another one you can break.
they don't break.
They don't.
They fall apart and you put them back together and then you're fine. No other new business, public comment? We have no call for an executive session. So, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ms.
so-
Dora
Will
Bannister.
you, yeah.